What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back another video on the channel. And today we are at the Dad at Papa John's. One of my favorite pizzas in the chain pizza game is back. That is the Shaq-a-Roni. It is an extra large, extra cheese, extra pepperoni pizza. Comes out to $13, and every time that it comes out, I have to get it. Believe it or not, the first video I ever did on this channel as a regular food blogger was the Papa John's Shaq-a-Roni. It's way back in the end of 2020, and it's something that's near and dear to me. So when it came back, I had to get it. But the biggest reason, the second reason why I went back was this right here. They also came out with the Twix Bites, which is the first time I'm looking at it, they have Oreo bites and they have a few other ones, Parmesan and a jalapeno one, but I've never seen the Twix one. I got wind of this last week, actually. I stopped in there and the owner was like, hey, the heads up, got these coming out next week. I said, I'll be back, bro. So here I am. Drop a thumbs up. You guys already know the vibes. If you can't tell how tired I am, I'm going to tell you why in a hot second as I get this situated. I saw the movie, what is it? Killers of the Flower Moon, I believe it's called. I'm so tired that I can't think straight and I don't remember, but I think that's what it was called. I'm sure. If not, it'll be a change of a difference in the title. Also, because you have to get the Papa pairings to get something, they got wings, but only 2 flavors on it. They added another flavor because I complained last time. So I got barbecue wings to go along with my meal. So that is what's on the agenda today, man. I'm going to start off with these Twix Bites. We'll talk about the movie in a second. Okay, so let's start off with these Twix Bites. I'm not going to hold y'all, man. This is just going to be super simple. Get right to the point. What these are Twix pizza pieces, or pizza dough, I should say, with Twix rolled in on the inside. That's literally it. Caramel dipping sauce. That's all. That's all you need to know. Not going to hold y'all. Let's go. Don't spill on my Shaq-a-Roni. The biggest reason why I like these even more than I thought I would, with the Oreo bites they had, my only complaint was there was never enough going on the inside. You can see there's a ton of Twix going on in here. There's a ton of caramel. The caramel dipping sauce is filled to the top. It's exactly what I would be looking for if I asked for this. For $5 as a side item, get a Shaq-a-Roni with this. It's still under $20. That's a W of all W's. This doesn't need to be long and convoluted. If you like Twix and you like caramel and you like pizza, it works. And they didn't skimp on it, which was, I'm sure, what most people were probably dying to know. Yes, these are a must cop. In my fast food chain pizza scale, woo, there are still better things, but those are definitely in the rotation. It's in the upper tier in that 9+ category. 9.2 out of 10. Yeah. Let me dig into this Shaq-a-Roni. Let's talk a little movies. I don't need to rate this. This is legitimately my favorite chain pizza. It's everything I want in a pizza. It's extra large. It doesn't cost a lot. It has extra pepperoni. It has extra cheese. That's everything that I want in a pizza. There's no need to rate this. This, for me, is way up there. I'm not going to give you a number because I've said it 50 billion times. It's my favorite. This is one of the biggest reasons why I like the Dad so much. Also, the epic garlic stuffed crust is kind of in this category, but those still 2 are the goats to me. Now, full disclosure, this pizza for me is a little colder than I normally get it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. But this type of pizza, I don't mind eating room temperature. I could throw it in the air fryer and make it better. But I was trying to put a new tripod on my camera. Had a little issues. So, it got cold. That's all. Anyway. Also, I love this now. I don't know when this happened, but they're honey mustard bangs to me. Anyway. Killers of the Flower Moon. Whew, I would have been mad. I'd have been mad. It was an extremely well put together movie. The things that I expect from Martin Scorsese, he does movie in and movie out. He's not a guy who just puts crap together. His projects are usually very long as far as how long they take to get made, because he's going to look at the details. And that's all evident in this film. I don't think movies like this are everybody's thing, right? You have to be like, how do I say this? I'm not going to say you don't know movies if you don't like it, but you have to be like a real movie head type of person. It's almost like people liking sneakers versus a sneakerhead, because y'all notice all little stuff that I don't care about. When it comes to this movie, There might be things that people don't really care about in a movie, and you'll just look at it and say, I thought it was boring. I don't think your opinion's wrong. It's just different. There's no such thing, in my opinion, as a wrong opinion when it comes to how you interpret something. It's not rooted in fact. So, I completely understand. But this is coming from me, which is, I'm a movie guy, and I appreciate all the little details in movies. The sets that he puts together are like walking into a time hop. I love things like that. This made me want to go and do what I do, which is absorb that period of history. The last time that I felt this way with a movie was with Gangs of New York. In that movie, I wanted to go back and say, oh wow, this is what New York was like in that 1860s era, where it was a place that was more tribal than what you think of present today. So I start looking and I go down a rabbit hole. That's what this is going to do for me. Like, it's set in Oklahoma. It's set right after World War I. And that's a period where I think a lot of people don't even think about. And it tells a story from that period, more or less. But the acting is phenomenal. The lead woman in this movie she was just so good. But all the supporting cast was so good. Very ensemble-esque. A lot of faces similar to Oppenheimer, where you're going to be like, wait, isn't that, I did that like 26 times in this movie. There were a lot of big names or brand names that were playing smaller roles, but it makes all the better for it because even the smaller detailed roles are well acted. The cinematography, and even the little history lessons, I'm a history guy, throughout the movie, of information which I'm not going to spoil, you may not have known. Some of which I was familiar with, some of which I wasn't. The entire premise of the movie is something that I was familiar with. They never get into it in the preview, so I'm not going to get into it here, but it was something that I knew did happen, but you never watch it fleshed out in that manner, and it puts you in a position where you're like, wow, that was really messed up, and everybody just does what they're supposed to do. The running time of the movie is 3 hours and 26 minutes. Was it too long, in my opinion? Yeah. Even though I love the movie, this was a weird one, where the story could have been told in 2 hours, but when you watch it, I think, at least I walked away saying it could have also been told in an entire season of a television show or in a 6-hour movie. Even though it was that long, there's things that happened that they could have went into way more detail about. By the way, this is the barbecue wings. I don't think I've ever had them before. That's why I got them. They're well done, by the way. Honestly, for $6, I ain't bad. I ain't bad at all. Get them well done, though. This tastes like somebody's barbecue that can't really cook, so they slather it in barbecue sauce, so you still think it's like kind of good sometimes. That's this. It's a chain pizza place, man. I ain't expecting much. I still could rock with that. I'll rate those on a wing scale. Franchise wings, so that includes like Wingstop and stuff. It's probably about a cool like 5.5. But I'm okay with that. Being real. But yeah, it's definitely worth it for people who like those kinds of movies. If you're not a person who can sit down and watch movies like Oppenheimer, movies like Gangs of New York, movies like Inception, even though that wasn't Scorsese, it's still like that long drawn out. There are plenty of the plot of the movie is not, I wouldn't call it slow, but it's slower than normal because I feel like it stops to give you every detail. It's not like it's not moving the story. When I think of a slow plot, I think of like, okay, well, you could have taken this out of the movie. I don't think you could have really taken anything out of the movie and gotten the whole message across. You would have had to infer it. So they could have made it 2 hours, like I said, but I preferred it like this. I personally sat there for the whole time. I didn't fall asleep. I didn't get tired, but I heard people leaving the theater saying they fell asleep. But again, I don't know what kind of movies they're used to seeing, so I can't really say anything. This, for me, is one of the best movies I watched this year. I definitely want to watch it again, because like many Scorsese movies, there are a ton of details that I need to watch again because I would notice things, but I couldn't stop and kind of think about it because they were still going on to something else. And because the plot has a lot of things happening at once, you blink and you'd miss something. But again, the actors, fantastic. The cinematography and the set design, fantastic. The directing, Scorsese is one of the best for a reason. Also fantastic. Only gripes for me, runtime, but that's not even a major gripe this time because you expected it with this kind of movie. With comic book movies, it's overdone, but with movies like this, Titanic, things of that nature, I expect them to be long. There's a lot to explain, and there's a lot going on. If they were just walking around like some movies, I'd have been annoyed, but they weren't. Things were happening. I would be surprised if there weren't some Oscar considerations for some of the actors at the very least, and the set design and things like that. I don't know the movies of the year because I don't really pay attention to movies of the year because I haven't liked like the last 7 movies of the year or the best picture winners. So I don't even know what wins anymore. But for me, definitely worth it. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Is it my favorite Scorsese movie ever? No. But it's still great. I can name 4 Scorsese movies without batting an eye that I would watch before this, which isn't a bad thing. But it's not even, in my opinion, better than Gangs of New York. But I'm also a person who thought Gangs of New York got robbed that year when they were putting those together. So if you weren't interested before, there's nothing that will make you interested. If you were, it's going to deliver on what you're asking for. I'm not trying to overcomplicate this. The food was good, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all. I'm tired, bro. Sitting down for 3.5 hours in a movie just take a lot out of you. So, I'm going to go. It's midnight already, bro. Movie started at 7, bro. It started at 7. It's crazy. But, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Yes, and hell yes. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. I love y'all. The hand signs. They made it to YouTube.